Good morning, guys. It is Saturday, and I want to share with you today from 1 Corinthians chapter 9. It's 19 through 27. Just backing up a little bit. In yesterday's reading, Paul was talking about whether or not ministries, people should be compensated for their work that they did. And he's like, yeah, they should be. I have no problem with that. You don't muzzle an ox. However, I have chosen not to receive any financial compensation. I am giving up my rights. This wasn't my idea. This was God's idea. I am compelled by him to share the gospel, and I don't want anything to get in the way of winning people to Christ. Paul knew that his relationship with God was based on the work of Jesus Christ. And that was an internal, and that it is an internal relationship. And so all the externals, the ceremonies, the obligation to men, the customs, those things didn't matter. However, he says in verse 19, he becomes a slave to all. For the Jews, he was willing to do the customs of the Jews in order that he might win some. For the Gentiles, he was willing to eat whatever they ate in order that he might win some. For the weak, for those that were under the law, whatever it took, as long as it wasn't immoral, he was willing to do what it took in order that he might win others to Jesus. It's exactly what Jesus was saying in Mark chapter 10, verse 44. He says, if any of you wishes to become first among you, they shall be a slave to all. So this is what Paul was saying. He wanted to be first. He's talking about a race later on here. He says, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you might obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So Paul was saying we need to have self-control. We know that every athlete exercises discipline and self-control in what they do so that they can be really good at their sport. You know, they have to exercise, they have to lift weights, they might have to watch what they eat, they have to go to bed early in order to get up on time. He's like, this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. We have to discipline our bodies and give up our rights in order that we might win some. But he's saying, in verse 27, but I discipline my body and keep it under control. This word discipline here actually means to beat black and blue. He's disciplining his body that a lot of times we let our body tell us what it wants to do. So we feed it when it's hungry and we put it to bed when it's tired in order and instead of us disciplining our body and doing what feels uncomfortable. Maybe we need to fast in a disciplining way and in order to allow things that are hiding in our hearts to rise up. Maybe we need to go to bed and discipline our body in order that we need to get up on time and spend time with Jesus. Maybe we just need to discipline our body and by just being quiet before the God and praying for an hour or whatever it takes. We just need to discipline our bodies. We don't like to be uncomfortable. We don't like to be we don't like to give up our rights many times. That he says, I discipline my body. I beat it black and blue. He's saying, so that I will not, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. He didn't want to be disqualified. He's not saying that he would not be able to get into heaven if he didn't do this. He knew that was already done. That was the work of Jesus. That was a free gift. He knew he had that. But what Paul was saying was, I want the crown. I want Jesus's approval. I want to hear the words, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." He wants the approval that he did a good job, and that he didn't waste an opportunity when it was in front of him. And so, I feel like sometimes we miss opportunities, or we waste opportunities because we have not disciplined our bodies to be ready when the time comes. We've been called, just like Paul, to go and share the gospel. It's not our idea. Jesus said it. Go and preach the gospel. And we've been asked to lay down our lives, to give up our rights. So I know this is kind of a hard word. It's not comfortable. It's convicting, but it's something that we need to be always asking ourselves: am I comfortable? Am I allowing other things to get in the way? And what our perceptions are of sharing the gospel for Jesus and winning some, and what priority we put that in our lives. So you guys have a great day. Love you. Hope to see you tomorrow.